It is that time, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday, middle of the week episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only Philly Pete, and we are live as always on Zingo TV and 12 Ounce Sports. This show, as usual, is sponsored by MyBookie. Make sure you go to mybookie.ag right now, today. Sign up for an account, but make sure you use the promo code 12 Ounce Sports. That's 12OZ Sports, all one word. When making your first account today, they will match your deposit up to $1,000. You also don't want to miss out on cashing those tickets, everything in general when it comes to cashing out. You don't want to miss it. Sports are right around the corner. NHL, NBA, the MLB. We already have soccer in the mix right now. Everything's ready to rock and roll. And what better way to get the sports resumed into action by going to mybookie.ag, using the promo code 12 Ounce Sports. That's again 12OZ Sports when signing up, and they will match your deposit up to $1,000. Seriously, don't miss out on this. And for the meantime, if you basically are still scratching the itch for sports to come back in a couple weeks, they also have a MyBookie Casino, which is also really, really cool too. So, blackjack, you have some roulette, you have three-card poker, whatever it may be, Texas Hold'em, whatever it may be, mybookie.ag is the way to go. And, of course, yours truly, Zingo TV. When making your account with Zingo TV, make sure you use the promo code 12 Ounce. It's 12OZ. That's it. Simple as that. And you will be good to go. And, of course, you will be streaming all these phenomenal shows, not only mine, but the rest of the 12 Ounce Sports family that we can provide to you during these times. And listen, we're already ready to rock. We have lacrosse back in action as well, as you saw last night that we had it live out for you as well. Hopefully you guys and ladies out there took advantage of our lacrosse live action that we have for you on our network. So that was really, really cool to see as well. And also, of course, 12 Ounce Sports obviously is the home for the best live talk shows and sports broadcasts. You can catch my show, of course, Pete's Power Plays, and all of our other ones on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And, of course, Zingo TV. Again, make sure you use the promo code 12 Ounce. That's 12OZ. Also, ensure to install the app. Flip to channel 761. That's 761, which I am live right now saying this right now. And, of course, be sure to check out our latest blogs and podcasts as well on the 12 Ounce Sports Radio. So today we have a massive, massive show, and what can I say? Let's get started here. First and foremost, I know that the NHL series odds have kind of changed. I'm gonna get into that right now, real quick. The NHL series odds have updated, kind of dramatically in a little bit. Let's start off real quick. The Arizona Coyotes plus 130 and the Nashville Predators minus 155. Preds are getting the money as we speak. I mentioned this on my show last week, or maybe even before that the Predators were gaining some advantages because the Coyotes could absolutely tank. They could absolutely tank and lose this opening round series just so that they get Lafreniere in the first pick overall in the draft, which makes absolute sense here. The Taylor Hall situation, as we all know well, but the Predators, as of a couple weeks ago, was minus 130. Now they are back up to a minus 155. Clearly a favor. I honestly, again, I still like the Coyotes to come out of this qualifying round. I hope to God that they're just playing smokescreen for us because I really do like this young team. And at plus 130, you got some good dog value right now. So if you're taking a chance with the team, I think the Coyotes, again, as long as they can get out and not play tank mode, then I think you're getting some good value off this team. Blackhawks plus 145 against the Edmonton Oilers minus 180. So the Oilers, I believe last week were a minus 165. They're up to a minus 180 now. I really don't see much. I just think the Oilers are going to keep going up, and I expect them to get up to minus 200 by the time everything is said and done here. And honestly, I'm being completely honest here. I think if Edmonton goes to minus 200, it's gonna be pretty much guaranteed here. I do like the Edmonton Oilers to escape the Blackhawks here. Maybe it goes 5 games. It has the meanings of it too. It really does, of a 5-12 matchup. But to me, I just think the Oilers are the better team, and I think they will advance. But I think if you want to take the Oilers here, take it at the minus 170 or minus 180 before it even goes up that high, because 180 is still kind of juicy for me when they were minus 165 about a week or two ago. So I would consider taking the Oilers now before they jump up. Another massive move here as well. The Jackets plus 155. They were about plus 140 last week. The Leafs now minus 190. Last week they were minus 165. So again, another big jump for the Leafs. Again, could be another potential team like the Blue Jackets that can tank to get Lafreniere. They do have the top odds to land him as well if they were to lose. Between them and the Canadiens, they have the top chance to basically land Lafreniere. Again, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I already put my ticket at the minus 175 about a week ago. Very juicy. But the minus 190 is still, again, I just feel like this is a guaranteed series win for the Leafs. And at minus 190, it is getting juicy, and it's going to get even more juicier as the day goes on. Expect that number to jump into the 200s as well. A little bit of a movement here. Panthers, Islanders, it was at a pick 'em. It was basically at a pick last week. Islanders made the jump to minus 125, pretty substantial. The Panthers are plus 105. I still like the Panthers in this situation here. And you're given the dog value as well. Not much, but still, you're on the positive side for the Panthers at plus 105. The Islanders at minus 125. They made a pretty decent jump as well. So the money is on the Islanders, but I'm going the other way with the Panthers here. Again, that could be a back and forth and a potential 5-game series as well. Next up, the team that I like as well to advance and possibly, again, my lock of the series of all the games. You have the Minnesota Wild versus the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks are a minus 120. They did drop down from a minus 130, but I'm not harmed. I'm not harmed whatsoever. The Wild at a plus 105 again, but I still think the Canucks are the better team in this situation here, and I do like them. I do like them a lot. They were a team that was basically on fire. They were cashing out overs as well. Most of my clients know that as well, and my free plays for the Twitterverse fans out there too. So Canucks minus 125. I still like that. I'm sorry, minus 120. I still like that as well. Canadiens, Penguins, not much change here. Pens are still minus 200. Canadiens are still plus 165. Not expecting much there. Maybe a 5-game series as well. Stay tuned to that. But again, Pittsburgh, I think, is going to walk away there. Rangers, Hurricanes, nothing changed there. Hurricanes are still minus 150. Rangers are plus 120. Of course, I had the Rangers advancing as dogs because they've been playing really, really well before the pandemic happened in the quarantine. And last but not least, the Calgary Flames, they went up pretty good. They were at a minus 130. Now they're at a minus 150 to the Jets plus 120. The Flames, to me, is another lock to get out of their qualifying round, respectively. I don't see much of the Jets, honestly, unless if Hellebuck's going to need some help there. The defense needs to step up for the Jets to contain Johnny Hockey himself and the Calgary Flames. But to me, I think the Flames are going to advance here, no problem. So that is A-okay with me. But again, here we go. Moving on real quick. I want to continue what I had last week yesterday in regards to the rundown of the particulars for the NHL. And here we go real quick. I'm going to get this started. So I did mention the critical dates, obviously. July 13th, the teams will arrive to Toronto and Edmonton. Training camps are scheduled to open on July 13th. Teams going to be arriving into Toronto and Edmonton July 26th. And then August 1st is the first game, is when the games are scheduled to be played. And, opting out here, I want to go into opting out. Any player that can opt out of return to play this summer for any reason, and there is no penalty or discipline for doing so. There was originally talk that a player opting out for anything other than an underlying medical condition would not be eligible for a playoff share and would not receive the final quarterly pension credit for the season. That's huge. That is huge when it comes to the opting out option here. Next up, playoff share. The playoff bonus pool is doubling this season. I know I talked about this vaguely yesterday, but I want to just confirm it with you guys and just bring it back out there on the table. The playoff bonus pool is doubling this season from 16 mil to 32 mil. A player on a team that loses in the best of 5 qualifying round will receive $100,000. Hey, I'll take that any day of the week. Players in each round will see bonuses increase from there, with a share from the Stanley Cup winning team worth of $240,000 per player. Again, I will take that any day of the week. Next up, we have the term. The new CBA will have a term of 6 years, ensuring labor peace through at least 25-26, the year of 25-26. It could also be extended 1 year if the escrow debt from 2019-2020 owing to owners exceeds $125 million at the end of the deal. Salary cap. The salary cap's upper limit will be frozen for 20 and 21 season, obviously, at $81.5 million, and will remain until hockey-related venue returns to $4.8 billion, the amount projected for this year, basically before the pandemic hit. So that was, again, very, very crucial. Once the HRR rebounds to $4.8 million, the upper limit will be calculated using a new formula that relies on actual HRR from 2 seasons ago, plus the projected HRR from the immediate prior season. Olympic participation. This is huge as well. As reported, the NHL players will participate in the 2022 Beijing Olympics and the 2026 Milan, Italy Olympics, pending negotiations, of course, with the IIHF and the IOC internationally. No signing bonus limits. There will be no changes to the signing bonus system in the new CBA. During negotiations, the NHL was believed to have sought to limit signing bonuses to a maximum of 50% of the total contract compensation. The final paycheck, the player's final paycheck from this season, which has been deferred until this point, will go to repaying their debt to the owners. And that totaled about $140 million US. So that is a lot of cash rolling in. Escrow cap. While they work to repay their debt to owners, players cannot pay a higher escrow percentage than, here we go, next season, 2020 into 2021, that's 20%. 2021 to 2022, 14 to 18%. That's also going to be determined in that situation there. 22 through 23 season is 10%. 23 through 24 season is 6%. And then 24, 25, and then year 25 through 26 also at 6%. The salary deferral. Players will defer 10% of both salary and signing bonus for the 2020-21 season, which will be paid back to players in 3 equal installments, which would be the next 3 years following that. So 2023 into 24, 24 into 25, and 25 into 26, respectively. The no trade, no move clauses. All no trade and no move clauses will travel with the player in a trade, even if the player is traded before the clause kicks in. That is big for the no trade clause, 100%. So example here, the Montreal Canadiens traded defenseman PK Subban days before his no move clause kicked in. The Predators, obviously the team that acquired Subban, subsequently voided the no-move clause on Subban's part, then making him susceptible later to a trade to New Jersey. Outlawing the front-loaded deals for high-value front-loaded long-term deals, at least 6 years, worth at least 7.5% of cap salary variability from the highest year to the lowest year will go from 50% down to 35%. Again, very, very important stuff here. And again, the minimum salary, NHL's minimum salary is increasing from $700,000 to $750,000 next season. And then again, it will stay like that till the 23-24 season. Once they hit the 24-25 season, it will increase $25,000 up to $775,000. And then the year after that, 25-26 season, will hit the milestone of $800,000. Now, post-career health care subsidy. Players also receive $3,500 to $5,000 retirement health care subsidy. That's big. Rehab choice. Players will now be able to, rehab long-term injuries in a place or city of choice unless their team can prove that rehab will not be possible there. So they have a chance. If it's a place or city, basically it's their choice basically of how they want to rehab. It kind of makes sense here as well. And then lastly, the no European waiver. We should call this the AKA Ryan O'Reilly rule. As we all know, players who play in Europe will no longer require waivers to come back to the NHL, provided they sign their NHL contract by December 15th. Previously, if a player played in Europe after the start of the regular season, waivers were required. The Flames did end up getting Ryan O'Reilly, of course, to an offer sheet in 2013. during the lockout while he was holding out from the Avs in the KHL. If the Avs did not match, he would have been subjected to waivers and the Flames likely would have lost him. So those basically are the rundown of particulars. So but first and foremost, before I want to get into Fighter Fest Night 2 tonight and basically how the triple header of NHL games a day are going to be involved, I need to tell you guys again about MyBookie. I can't stress this enough. MyBookie.ag. Make sure you log in today. I can't stress this enough. It's very important. MyBookie.ag is going to be rock and rolling this summer. Again, once sports gets back, I had about six to seven buddies of mine over the weekend during the 4th of July weekend last weekend, of course. They signed up for MyBookie.ag. They used our promo code 12ounce sports, and it matched their deposit. So listen, if I can get 6 or 7 of my buddies, you can absolutely do the same, or you yourself could sign into MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code 12ounce sports. That's 12OZ sports. When signing up for an account today, they will match your deposit up to $1,000. Yes, $1,000. You also, please, you don't want to miss this chance to cash out tickets and everything possible when it comes to not only Pete's Power Plays and Philly Pete's bet list for NHL. It's going to be highly capable here, and we're expecting large numbers, as well as, of course, my clients coming back as well, and more on the go too. So this is very, very good news. Now, not only are sports around the corner, but you can also bet on soccer, and you can also go into the casino of MyBookie. So blackjack, roulette, 3-card poker, whatever it may be, Pokino if need be, but it is all going to be good to go. Again, MyBookie.ag, promo code 12ounce sports, and sign up today. Also, Zingo TV just added the 12ounce sports basically to their list of everything possible to stream on their site and app. Just download the app, Zingo TV. Sign up for an account with Zingo TV. Make sure you use the promo code 12ounce. Just a simple 12OZ. It's that easy. And not only on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever it may be that we are going to be showing your replays, but Zingo TV will also be doing that as well. And of course, yours truly, Pete's Power Plays, will also be on there live. So no need to harm if you missed this episode. It's going to be out again tonight on Zingo TV, as well as later this afternoon when I repost it to those that has missed out on today's show. So real quick side note here with the 3-game-a-day triple header. This is phenomenal. Bob McKenzie on TSN, he's a very, very great source. And, from TSN, of course, he's reporting that the plan is for NHL to play 3 games a day in Edmonton and Toronto, of course, respectively, the 2 hub cities. And they will be scheduled at 12 o'clock p.m., 4 o'clock p.m., and 8 p.m. local time. So this is going to be a very good wake up, get your coffee and your breakfast, and then by the time the game starts, you can order your lunch and then dinner for the nightcap. But triple header is phenomenal. I can't wait for this. Now, considering the time zone difference, there will be 6 games a day spreading out over a 15-hour window, if not longer. So this is even huge. I'm telling you right now, my living room or basement is going to be set up like a Vegas sports book right now. I'm going to have 3 or 4 TVs rocking and rolling and having every game. Obviously, if it's not on TV or cable TV, I will be streaming the hell out of that. You can guarantee me that. And listen, you'll be seeing a picture tweeted out from me, because that's how I am during March Madness. I have about 4 screens showing up on 3 of my TVs, and I have my laptop showing another game. So, this is how it's going to be for the NHL playoffs. So expect a lot of noise, and I cannot wait. So 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. local time. The time zone difference, obviously, there could be 6 games a day spread out over a 15-hour window, if not longer. So that is very, very good news. And what can I say? Now, last topic of the show, my last segment, I want to talk about the AEW Fighter Fest Night 2 preview. Listen, this is the first night was awesome. Last week we saw a lot of titles on the line, and it's gonna be fun. Night 2, obviously, not the type of hype as Night 1 last week, but obviously the first week featured a stacked card. 3 championships were decided. Night 2 again tonight will only have the AEW Tag Team Championship belt up for grabs. But listen, it does not have to be. It does have the long anticipated grudge between the Le Champion, Chris Jericho himself, against freshly squeezed wherever, whenever, Orange Cassidy himself. This should be a very, very good matchup tonight. I can't wait for that. The card for AEW Fighter Fest Night 2, of course, does not, to me, it just doesn't have the pay-per-view feel to it on paper, again, compared to Night 1. But listen, AEW isn't one for letting its fans down. We know that. It is a very highly anticipated show. I always look forward to every Wednesday night. I know my wife looks forward to it every Wednesday night. Hell, I even FaceTime my buddy and we just drink and we enjoy a FaceTime worth of AEW wrestling from 8 to 10. So it's fun. It's fun. It keeps ourselves occupied. And listen, I'm going to run through the card and give you guys and ladies out there my predictions of who will win tonight. So now, first and foremost, I'm going to start out with the SCU, Southern Cal, Uncensored versus the Dark Order. Now, one of the best long-running stories in AEW is the Dark Order's slow seduction of Colt Cabana, Boom Boom himself, into their ranks. I don't know where this is going to happen, but Colt Cabana is starting to win more now that he is with Dark Order. And again, we will see what happens when it comes to that. The Exalted One, Mr. Brody Lee himself, finally secured a win for Cabana in tag action on AEW a few weeks back. Now he looks to keep his new disciple on the winning track against SoCal Uncensored, of course. SCU tends to be AEW's most reliable team. They're usually not involved in big matches unless they're going to go somewhere. Now, smart money now is for Colt Cabana to get another tainted win after some, of course, from Mr. Brody Lee, of course. But personally, this is going to be a good jumping off point for Scorpio Sky singles run. I know I mentioned this on the show a while, I guess maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that Scorpio Sky is basically wrestling on his own. And we've seen him on Dark last night. He picked up another win. I think he has like 22 wins now in AEW. I think he's 22-9 overall, or 22-10. And he's going to keep winning. And this gives him good momentum as he heads into solos competition, is what everyone's anticipating for. I love everything about Scorpio Sky. He's very good. His ceiling is the limit right now. And it's just a good jump off point for me. SCU does not need a win. They already know they're over in this company. Scorpio versus Colt Cabana would be an amazing singles contest. Not only, it probably will not be a dark match for sure. I think this would be a future Dynamite show match for sure. And I think this is going to be a good place to start building to that. So look forward to a Scorpio Colt Cabana fight in the future. But for me, I think this match belongs to the Dark Order. I think they win tonight. I really think that the drop off now with SCU is starting to take effect. Scorpio Sky even has his own music now as in singles contest. So that's just saying a lot right there and pointing to a cryptic message that he's going to be on his own. Still part of SCU, but more or less just going to be in the singles run alone, while the other two boys take care of business. Frankie Kazarian and the other member of SCU as well. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, the Dark Order will win, and I think this is going to be a big stepping stone for Colt Cabana as well, and he gets into his winning ways. Next up, Nyla Rose versus question mark. I have no idea. Handicap match, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever it may be. She's been pretty light-lipped about AEW, has been pretty light-lipped or tight-lipped about who she's going to be fighting tonight. I don't even think they have an idea. But given how Rose has been booked in the past, particularly when coming back from a very long absence, which we haven't seen her since Double or Nothing, at least. Maybe the week after on Dynamite, but it's been at least a month since we've seen Nyla Rose in any sort of competition. But she'll be probably putting a foot to some jobber or another. Whoever it may be, it's just the start of some more consistent booking with the native beast herself. But to date, her AEW run has been hamstrung with lots of false starts. That includes her not-so-great run at the AEW Women's Championship. AEW, they knew they screwed up with giving her the belt from Riho. I just thought it was just plain dumb to give the belt up to her. Nyla Rose has not been that great of a wrestler, to be honest with you. And her skills are not there. I really think Riho versus Hikaru Shida would have been a better match, and Hikaru would have had the belt from Riho. So, they kind of screwed up in that aspect there. But it's okay. Hikaru has the belt now, and that's all that matters. Odds are Nyla Rose is going to win this match. She's going to win no problem, whether it's 2 or 3 scrubs in the women's division. That's all that matters. Hell, you could even give her Peter Avalon, and she'll still beat him. But it doesn't matter who she fights. Nyla Rose is going to win this matchup regardless tonight. Next up, Lance Archer, of course, with Jake the Snake versus Joey Janela alongside Sonny Kiss. The odd couple of Joey and Sonny has been some legit entertaining stuff for AEW. You can see their promos. They're funny. You know, last week I think we saw them in a gas station trying to get some gas in a pretty sweet-looking car. Joey Janela's going into the convenience store, and you see a group of 4 or 5 guys try to hit on Sonny Kiss, and basically it's a free fall from there. And it's great how they shoot that promo, and they just kick some butt, Joey and Sonny Kiss, because that's how they are. Jersey's finest, I must say, so representing North Jersey. However, after losing the bid to become the first TNT Championship at Double or Nothing, the Murder Hawk monster himself, Lance Archer, needs to get back on track. Still, that doesn't mean he has to squash Janela. I just do think that Archer is going to win this. He's now well established as a force to be reckoned with. He cut a path of destruction through the TNT Championship tournament, obviously picking up a win over Dustin Rhodes, and then eventually losing to Cody in the championship. But the bad boy should definitely come up the loser, I think, big time here. I hate to say it, but he should barely survive and start to recapture his status as the plucky underdog in AEW. Now, you're going to get a glimmer of hope, I think, as well, now that Jake the Snake will snuff that glimmer out, allowing Archer to pick up a big win. So Jake the Snake's going to do something here. I maybe even expect Lance Archer to maybe interfere with Sonny Kiss, maybe kick his butt at some point, and that's basically it. And then Joey Janela is going to be a lost cause at that point. So I really do think Lance Archer picks up the victory here because he is a big boy and he is a force big time. And I really do think he needs to get up and running here in this brand because the AEW dark matches aren't cutting it. He needs to be on live Dynamite for sure because that's how good he is. He has potential to be that biggest heel in the brand. Next up, FTR and the Young Bucks versus Butcher, Blade, and the Lucha Brothers. Finally good tonight. Very nice to see the Lucha Brothers back in action last night on Dark. The AEW has booked this 8-man tag, nothing short of excellent. Obviously, AEW has done a great job of playing the real-life rivalry between the Bucks and FTR, and they've also done a great job at not jumping the gun. So compared to WWE, AEW is actually doing a real good job at this because WWE, we know that Vince will screw it up. We know it every time. But honestly, to be honest, I think this is going to be a good match. I do, however, think the bad guys are going to win. Lucha Brothers and Butcher and Blade, this will be a nice victory for them. The Young Bucks do not need this win at all. We know that they are over. And, it should put us on the road to see the future Bucks versus FTR match. And it should only be the first stop on a long trip. Butcher and Blade have been used perfectly in this feud, and I love everything about it. Again, Lucha Brothers are a great surprise addition to this match as well. And, of course, if you're going to build this, you're going to see a future Young Bucks FTR match. So I think the bad boys win here. And then lastly, the AEW Tag Team Championship match, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Obviously, Jon Moxley and Brian Cage will be shown next week in the Fight for All showdown next week, of course, because Moxley has been in contact with someone with the coronavirus, more likely his wife, Renee Young. So that is next week. Real quick, I think that this is a no-brainer here. Omega and Page keep the belts here in a very gruesome and good fight against Private Party. And then Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Le Champion is going to hold out for the win in what should be a very anticipated win as well. But that basically wraps up my show for Wednesday. I will be back tomorrow. Hope everyone stays safe, and I will be back tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. Bye.